Welcome back to Color Break, your third favorite comic book podcast. I'm your co-host, as always, Kody. This is your third favorite comic book podcast. This is episode number 43, and I'm here with my buddy Christian. What's up, dude?
How's it going, buddy? I'm alive once again.
I know I didn't sweat. I didn't sweat to death last time, but I might this time. It's still hot.
Yeah, I'm wearing a sweater and it's 94 degrees here.
Damn, dude. You're crazy with the sweaters. The sweaters, dude.
Listen, you gotta do it sometimes. Also, I just did laundry and I was like, the sweater's right here.
Well, so listen, dude. It's not an interview episode. A nice solo Kody and Christian episode. We committed to delivering an episode every 2 weeks starting now. So that's what this is, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be 2 days late, but we got an excuse.
Yes, we do have an excuse because we wanted to cover Deadpool 3 for you guys. So we'll definitely be talking about some Deadpool. Starting off spoiler free, we'll do the actual review at the end of the podcast. So skip to the end. There should be time codes below if you're interested in the Deadpool discussion. In this episode, we also have some comic book reviews, some things that came out this past week. Christian, I want to do a recurring segment, let you know our thoughts if we're going to continue pulling the series or not. And then I want to talk about all the DC news at San Diego Comic-Con. Stuff is dropping. Actually, as we're recording right now, I think there's a Marvel panel going on for like the Marvel side of the comics. We'll have to catch you guys on the next one.
Cody, I will say this. I know nothing. I actually made it a point. I made it a point to not look at the news. Because,
that's perfect, dude. That's perfect.
Yeah. So you'll get my honest opinions here.
I think that DC Comics is in a very interesting time. That's why I kind of wanted to get into it. I think they got a lot of interesting things coming up. So
I stopped pulling some DC Comics, so hopefully
we'll get into it, dude. Okay, yeah. I'd be curious to know. And then, guys, the last topic for this episode, we're also going to do the Eisner 2024. We're going to try to guess, maybe put our minds together and see what we think is going to win. Maybe talk about what we would want to win for some of these categories. Yeah. Not all of them, guys. Not all of them. Just a couple of the big name
we'll
ones.
Go real quick. Like it won't be I think the bulk of the episode is really Deadpool. So
yeah, I think this will be the Deadpool discussion near the tail end. But where should we start, dude? Maybe we start with Deadpool. A little bit of spoiler free.
Spoiler free. Just
quick thoughts. Minute.
One sentence.
Yeah.
First of all, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. That's pretty high. That's like a good.
It was It was everything it needed to be. So it could be a 10 out of 10 with the expectations I went in, but just being fair to 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect movie, but
so Marvel's back, dude. In your opinion,
I would say Marvel. I mean, I enjoyed it. What about you?
Nice. So yeah, my spoiler free thoughts, guys. My quick spoiler free thoughts. I thought it was pretty good. I think that I might like maybe like the first one more in terms of the Deadpool franchise or whatever.
Yeah, what I will say is like it's a great movie. I just don't know where it leads.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right? I don't know. And we'll get into it. We'll get into it in the spoilers. But yeah, that's a very good point. Definitely want to talk about that a little more. But yeah, that's just my top level thoughts. I thought it was pretty good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see where it all leads to. That's definitely where my mind is right now. But yeah, so yeah, dude, that's our quick Deadpool thoughts. Stay tuned till the end for our mega Deadpool thoughts.
I would say like if you are like expecting like Easter eggs or something, like we are not Screen Crush. We we are not new rock stars. Eric Voss is not going to show up. We will just say the things we remember.
Yes, exactly. This won't be a total breakdown of the movie, that's for sure. A lot of Easter egg, some I caught, but yeah, definitely a lot that went over my head as a especially as someone who doesn't read much, just Deadpool in general.
Yeah, honestly, like we're not gonna be like, this is actually a reference to issue 16 of the no.
Yeah, dude, the Deadpool heads are freaking out. They love it.
Yeah,
dude. So, where do you want to go to now? You want to do our quick comic book reviews?
Yeah, we can. Just 3 comics. We're gonna talk about the same 3 comics, thankfully. So like,
yep. I'm actually gonna throw one at the very end.
Oh wow, Kody
but it's because
does
it's
not like to
you'll
listen.
see. It's like a segue thing. You'll see. You'll
Okay.
see. We got 3 for you. What's the first one up, dude? And like I said, all these came out this past week. So if you'd like to, pick them up, check out your LCS, add them to your pull list. What's the first one, dude?
The first one I would say is Hello Darkness. That's a Boom Studios title, anthology series. And I have said in the past, and I've been completely honest, I do not like anthology series.
That's right.
I like the Devil's Cut, which was the distillery book, but I liked it with the promise that they were going to turn into full series.
Right. Some of them, some select few would turn into full series. Yep. That's like
I liked it as I liked it as a taste of what's to come, not as an anthology. That's what I've always thought. I did really enjoy Hello Darkness. It's all horror stories, but it's not horror in the way you would think. A lot of them are like really psychological. My favorite one was a Garth Ennis one.
That was that's the one at the end, right?
Yes. It's a very just human story about nuclear war and the fear, especially like it deals with Ukraine and Russia.
Yep.
And it was the scariest one because it was the most possible one.
Yeah, no, I totally with you. That it literally reminded me there was an event that happened in American history, I guess, recently, and I was at a friend's, like I was driving over to their house. We're gonna do a little fire in the back, little cookout type of thing, and of course that was the night where this event happened. This I'm not gonna get too much into it, but so this story really reminded me of it at the tail end, just like talking about.
It's really at a party, people talking about politics and nuclear warfare. It is. Yep. So that was my favorite one. I cannot say much about Something Is Killing the Children, which is the little James Tynion story, and the reason why I can't say much is because I'm not caught up with the series. But there's a couple good ones. I certainly
the bowling one.
The bowling one was really interesting. I'm trying to think who wrote in it.
That's the thing, yeah.
Like I remember some of the right. You probably have it there.
I do. So
for some reason, Becky Cloonan is coming to mind, but I don't think Becky Cloonan wrote on it.
Becky Cloonan did the art for the war story that you brought up.
I like that
Garth
one.
Ennis. Yep.
Yeah. So Becky Cloonan's art was phenomenal in that one because it was so normal, and that's what it needed. It wasn't over the top, but she has a really nice style. We've seen it in Somna. We've seen it in other books that I have not read, but that's the point. Right. Overall, Hello Darkness was really fun. I think the hook for me was that like it is anthologies, but they continue in the next Hello Darkness. A lot of anthology books, especially like the ones I've read, are just like one-off stories.
Yeah, so I think that some of them are like you're saying, some of them are going to continue. Some of them I think are just that's it. I think like the bowling one, for example, I don't think that one's going to continue. But yeah, some of them they'll say at the bottom explicitly to be continued.
There's one about kids killing their parents that's pretty good.
Yeah, that one reminded me of. Funny you mentioned James Tynion the Fourth. That one reminded me of World Tree a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. It was good. Dude, I enjoyed it. It was like I have not been reading much Boom Studios, and I saw it there. A lot of people were talking about it, and I was like, this may be a good opportunity to jump into a comic book publisher that I'm not entirely familiar with, and I'm happy.
Yeah, dude. So I guess my thoughts on Hello Darkness. I thought it was a really good first issue. Unlike Christian, who might not be a fan of anthologies, I love anthologies, bro. I think it really it speaks to, I guess, maybe something from my childhood, dude. I just like that show Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I understand.
So like I'm a big like sci-fi anthology guy typically, but in the medium of comic books, it's horror all the way. That's like what you'll find typically for
Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone terrifies me. Even right now, like I watched it last year, specifically as a telephone episode, like a little kid who talks to his dead grandma through a telephone.
Yes, classic.
And that, dude, I could not sleep when I got home.
Dude, so yeah, I think that spirit of like the Twilight Zone, the ending that is a twist you don't necessarily expect. Like the Hello Darkness story that stuck out to me, the one with that hand that was stuck in his body.
Oh yeah, that was
at the end there.
The hand stuff was weird.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Very mature story, but cool. It was top 3 probably for me.
I think for me, just in general, I think the Hello Darkness idea is really cool. It seems to me that, you know, the names attached, they're not going to be like the biggest names in the world. Like, you do have some polls, obviously, like James Tynion in the fourth, you got Garth, Becky Cloonan coming in. But you know, these to me reads like the new up and coming talent. You know, Boom Studios wants to,
but it's
see
cool.
what's going on with them, and
I put it on my pull list. I'll tell you that much. I read it and I messaged Brian. Shout out Brian. I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, put that on my pull list. I'm gonna keep on getting it."
Yeah. Okay. So for me, this one it's on the fence. It's not that I'm not gonna pull it. I think I just got to see what's going on. I just got to see. I'm in the middle of maybe it's on. It would be on the cutting floor for me.
I would say like after issue 3, probably we'll have a good idea. I think that's normally when I decide about stories. Like
for sure,
issue number 3, I'm like, okay, should I keep this or let it go?
Dude. So you know, I love a good segue, dude. I love a good segue. That was our thoughts on Hello Darkness. But this week there was also another horror anthology comic that came out. Did anyone have any idea? It's pretty big stuff.
I did not know.
The Epitaphs from the Abyss.
Oh, I saw it in the store and I almost pulled it, but I didn't for some reason.
So this is a horror anthology from the revived EC Comics label.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the Comics Code Authority just ruined them. I mean, like they couldn't make horror stories anymore. They couldn't do crime stories anymore because all these rules in place.
Yeah.
So the company folded. They're back though. Oni Press is publishing their stories. They got a bunch of cool creative talent attached to it. And to be honest with you, dude, I guess the point I was getting at, I think I like this one more.
Okay, like, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's tough. To me, the Hello Darkness, you know, a lot of the stories were, you know, like 2 pages, 3 pages, little short stories. This one feels like it has a little bit more meat on its bones. In this, we had 4 stories, and so they were all a little bit longer, a little bit more, not as rushed, maybe time to breathe. They were like actual stories, cool. You know what I'm saying?
It looked more like classic horror.
Yeah, one of the stories is classic horror. One of them is like a very tense, like, I guess I'll give you the premise just to give people an idea. One of them is this family, there's like a home invasion, and the dad is forced to like pick between, you know, shoot himself or his kids and his wife, and he has to pick one. So like just stuff like that, like very tense
I'll
type of things. Not necessarily all horror, but
I'll pick it up.
And so the reason why this one was a little bit more interesting to me, just because more names are familiar to me, right? I just wanted to. So like we have Stephanie Phillips, we have artist Phil Hester, who did Gotham Year One. I thought his art was incredible. We have Brian Azzarello actually coming on, and then Chris Condon, who did That Texas Blood. He's the writer for that. So
you have mentioned him a lot. So
yeah, I think that for me, I might lean towards the EC Comics stuff in terms of anthologies, just because
that's cool.
Might be more my speed, I guess. But
yeah. And then that's not. It's nothing wrong against Hello Darkness. It's just
no. I think the idea of anthologies are great, dude. I hope to see more of them. I think it's a medium that can really. It has a place on the comic book stand. You know what I'm saying? Like just quick little stories, pick them up and go. You don't have to, worry about an ongoing that's 50 issues long, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's maybe like what has always been my issues, that I don't feel enticed to read them when it's just random things. But if it's like Batman, I'm like, I need to know what happened next. But you know,
for sure.
Speaking of Batman, I'm kidding. There's no segue here. Nice House by the Sea is our next book that we.
DC Black Label, of course. I like to say it, but everybody forgets this is DC Black Label, dude.
Yeah, it's not
Doesn't
an indie.
feel like it. Doesn't feel like it. But...
James Tynion the Fourth. I'm gonna say, I know this is directly to him. I'm gonna say like a pretty big take. Might be better than Nice House on the Lake.
Might be better than Nice House on the Lake.
Yeah, in this immediately, like
for the issue ones.
Yeah, for the issue ones, because it comes in at full force.
Right.
And the ending.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit perplexed on the ending, dude. I'm not gonna lie. So better than Nice House. Remember, because there was that discussion we had a couple weeks ago where we were like, okay, how are people gonna? What's like the reception gonna be?
Yeah.
I think that I think that this one succeeds so well for those that have read Nice House, right?
Yeah.
I got a comment. Someone asked me, "Do you think that you need to read Nice House before picking
100%.
up By the Sea?" And I was like, probably. After reading it,
Yeah.
issue number 1, I was like, yeah, you're gonna be very confused.
Yeah.
But I think that the twist that they all want to be there, and they all knew it was happening beforehand.
It's been 2 years already.
Yeah, so I think that twist is very interesting. I'm excited to see that play out.
I'm interested in like the different people that are there: scientist, a priest, an actor.
Yes,
it's
and
cool.
the whole discussion on it seems like this whole thing is a competition.
Yeah,
type of
it is
thing. Like which house is gonna win type of deal. Like the people who are in those houses have chosen because they're trying to accomplish something. So let's
be pretty honest here. Way better house.
Oh, the house is sick, dude! Right on the beach.
Way better house. It looked like a couple houses. Like this looked like a beach town.
True, it looked like a complex, like a mansion with like multiple guest houses and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Let me just say this though, Alvaro Martinez Bueno, just incredible artwork, dude.
Yeah, and did he do colors? Who did colors?
Colors? You'll never guess it, dude. Jordy Belair, always. It's always Jordy, bro.
Dude, the colors in the last scene, which I won't spoil because I really want people to go in blind.
Yep.
The colors in that transition period to the last,
dude, some just insane like I've never seen anything like that in a comic, bro. It's crazy.
The closest I will say is like it's sort of like crossover, like the Donny Cates.
Okay. Book. Yep.
Has some sort of those colors and like I don't know what to say.
It's
pretty.
So my
intense.
last thing I'll say on it, dude. I think that, like as far as the art goes, some of the scenes were like confusing, but confusing on purpose because it's like so alien what's going on. They're from like the whatever dimension.
Well, like also I think like with Nice House we start at the beginning and there's explanation of everything. With this one, it's sort of like they tell you like, oh, like they're experts. So they're not explaining everything to you. They're just showing you like they've been here for 2 years already.
Yep.
And
I am blown away though, dude.
Hey,
just flipping through it, art wise, I think the art wise might step it above Nice House so far.
Yeah, I'll say it's better than Nice House. Like I like the thing that Nice House has over it in art is that one part where Walter gets punched.
Yeah, true. That was a really cool scene.
Turns into that Spectre. But this is 10 out of 10, dude. Hate to say it, but James,
dude,
you got us again.
Got us again, bro.
Oh,
I'm
also,
so glad Nice House is back. Definitely must pull. I mean, without a doubt,
also,
you gotta pull it.
Shout out to our friend. If you're gonna pick up issue number 2, make sure to get the Josh Hickson variant.
Yeah, true. Actually, that's a good point. You got to pick up. That is for issue 2, right? We want to make sure. You don't want to send people. Okay, cool.
Issue number 2.
Dude. Next comic book review, we've got the return of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from IDW, writer Jason Aaron, pencils by Joel Jones. What did you think of this first issue?
This is going to be a short review. I had never read anything TMNT, well, except for The Last Ronin, but that's like just a story. It's like if you say, oh, I read Marvel, and the only thing you read was like 1602. Yeah.
Right.
It's good. I like where it's going. I like that they're splitting it up by turtle. Like each issue, at least the beginning, it's like different turtles per issue. Yep. It's really dark and bloody.
Yeah, it is, dude. As someone who hasn't read much Turtles, just like you, dude, I didn't know that they get down like this, bro. I
gave it to my 16-year-old brother who has never read a comic, and I was like, "Hey, read this," and he was like, "I might." And then like he came up to me, he was like, "I'm excited to see Mikey."
Nice, dude. He's pumped to see Mikey. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's great, dude. My thoughts on the book, for a first like Ninja Turtle thing, like Christian said, I thought this was great. I think that they kind of just drop us in, right? I don't know too much about what was going on beforehand. I guess Raph got arrested or something, but they give us little hints and teasers. I didn't feel weighed down by 150 issues of their previous run, though.
I honestly don't believe even the people who had read the old one know why he was arrested, because it's a big point in this that like no one knows.
That's what I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. Right.
The warden mentions like no one knows why you're here.
Gotcha. Yeah, there was like some for some reason the turtles broke up, and I don't know what happened previously to potentially.
I'm excited. Whatever, I'm really this is really dope. That's all I'll say. Honestly, it was a fun time. The art was great. Writing was great. I'm excited. Maybe I would say dark, like text bubbles, sort of confusing at times when you're reading in like, not the brightest place. But that's my only. Sense. It's not even a complaint. It's just a comment.
Yeah, dude. I think definitely gonna keep pulling it. Gonna keep trying it out and seeing.
I don't see myself dropping that one in general.
Yeah, it feels cool being like being able to jump on a Ninja Turtle title right now.
I mean, we'd be talking about X-Men right here if you you had pulled it, because I've been pulling all the X-Men.
Dude, this guy's crazy, bro. He's gonna
NYX,
X-Men. He's gonna be in debt. This guy's gonna be in debt.
Dark Phoenix. It's cool, man. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. But let's jump on to Kody. You have a transition for this one?
Transition for this one. So I don't know. Where do we want to go? Do you want to go Eisner's or DC Comic News?
I think DC Comic News can be a quick thing after the Eisner's. Oh, you got something to say?
No. Sorry. I saw someone. There's someone on my window.
Get scared. Go for it, buddy. Eisner's. Let's run through them.
Okay, dude. Eisner's. I'm also starting to get sweaty, so just so you know, if I look a little sweaty, guys, just
Kody gets really nervous when talking about awards.
All right, dude. So we're not going to go through every single one because that'd just be ridiculous.
Short story. I haven't read a single one. Let's give it to Becky Cloonan because I like Becky Cloonan.
Yeah, we give it to Becky on that one. Let me scroll down. Continuing series. This might be a good one, right? Best continuing series. We got nominations for Wonder Woman by Tom King, Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson, Shazam by Mark Waid, Nightwing by Tom Taylor, and Birds of Prey by Kelly Thompson.
So out of the ones, here's the thing: I want Transformers to win. I think Wonder Woman's gonna win, which I'm happy about. I really enjoy Wonder Woman.
Gotcha. I'm with you, dude. I hope Transformers wins this one. Big dub for Daniel Warren Johnson. I mean, that first arc is just so good.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Not that I've been disliking the Wonder Woman series, but I think that might be. I might agree with you. I think Transformers. I want it to win. I think it's gonna win, honestly, because I think it made such a big splash. So
yeah, Wonder Woman.
I think that maybe they're tired of giving Nightwing awards, dude. They give them awards every year.
Yeah,
bro.
I just think Wonder Woman touched on really hard topics and in a cool way, which is why I might win. And also,
that one issue.
I don't know if the Eisners go for more like the Oscars, that there's like more serious things, you know.
That's a good point, actually. I think there's some element of fan voting, so that might throw things off a little bit and make it not as like you're saying, like the industry darling or whatever. It might be fan votes that
I haven't read Birds of Prey, but that seems like a really cool book.
Birds of Prey is really great. I think the thing that stops me from saying that one's gonna win, I think that the art. Like the art is always good, but it's a different artist almost every time. So it's like it feels like there's no consistency.
I like that first artist though. That's the thing.
I know, dude. The first couple issues are so good. This guy here, Romero.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hasn't been doing the art for a couple issues now, and it's kind of rough. So
that's disappointing.
That's the thing, bro. I like when you say continuing series. I want it to have the same that's look and feel throughout.
That's the
right?
thing.
I know I'm spoiled with Ultimate Spider-Man. Right. It's a good point. But at least with Jorge Corona doing it, it's got the same kind of feel. It has the
same feel, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just more detailed.
For sure. Limited series, dude. This one's kind of tough. Mainly because I feel like Kill Your Darling is going to win. And that's just the one that's been hyped up. I haven't read it myself, but I know everybody's been talking about it out of Image Comics.
Yeah, I haven't read that one. I haven't read any of them, but I know you like the Cole.
The Cull's good, dude. That's who I kind of hope it goes to. I think Kelly Thompson just nailed it with that series. It's kind of like the Goonies, gives you Goonies vibes. But the art from Mattia de Lulis, sorry, dude, I apologize.
Yeah,
but the art is phenomenal. It's very never seen anything like it type stuff. So I think the Cull has a good chance of winning. So yeah. New series. What do you notice here, dude? New series. We got Beneath the Trees, where nobody sees.
Here's the thing. I would give it to Beneath the Trees where nobody sees. It's just Beneath the Trees nobody sees. Black Cloak, Local Man, Phantom Road, Somna. My thing is that
I've read all these too. That's why it's tough.
I will give it to Somna.
Okay.
Because we have the promise of maybe getting a prequel to Beneath the Trees, and I want to see what they explore a little bit more. Somna as a complete series, doesn't feel like it needs anything else.
Right. It feels told. The story has been told.
And I like that. It's just like here's the book, here's what it is, and take it. And I like it. That's all I needed. And that's why I think like it was satisfactory till the end. Not that Beneath the Trees wasn't, but it kind of left me like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And I feel like sometimes finality is a good thing.
Right. That makes sense. You make a lot of good points there. Someone who's read all these series, I think I agree with you where I think I want Somna to win. And I think it's got a good chance of winning, to be honest with you. I think this might be the first win for Distillery, bro. This might be kind of sick. 1 year in, they get their first Eisner, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Of course, we got the other Kelly Thompson nod with Black Cloak.
Yeah.
Kind of like a detective fantasy series, like sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah. I haven't read one. I really want to read Phantom Road because it looks the coolest.
It's cool. It's cool, dude.
The art looks so nice.
Yeah, Gabriel Walta is crazy talented. Very, very cool style for sure. All right, we're skipping down. Best anthology. Couple looks here.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. It's Comics for Ukraine, which is really cool that they did that. Yep. Deep Cuts, Devil's Cut, Marvel Age, The Outside. I will say listen, Devil's Cut once again. I like the promise that it was. You know what I'm gonna say, right?
I don't know. You don't like anthology? What do you mean?
No, I was gonna say that Deep Cuts is the shit.
The winner, dude. Deep Cuts. For those that don't know, dude, me and Christian have been loving Deep Cuts. We've been trying to spread the word.
I'm gonna say this: Deep Cuts will never win.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like Deep Cuts never really hit the market like real big. But I think it's such a cool and important like kind of historical series about jazz and just music.
Right.
And it is a deep cut on its own. If we're talking about importance in like comic books, I think the Devil's Cut is important because it kind of leads us into this new company that's really been knocking it out of the park. I don't think Marvel Age did anything for me. I don't think
I don't know. I don't remember that one. Maybe I picked that up. I can't even remember.
Comics for Ukraine is important, but I think like it's a cause. I didn't read them, and I can't say that just because it's a really good cause, it's gonna
that they should win.
Yeah. I think it's
so for me.
I'm going for merit on writing. That's what I'm saying.
For sure, dude. I think I agree with a lot of those thoughts. The only one that you didn't mention is because you just don't know about it. But Swan Songs.
I've heard good things.
So the whole thing about Swan Songs, W. Maxwell Prince might be the king of anthologies right now, for real, because he's got the Ice Cream Man stuff. Yeah, obviously an anthology. Swan Songs was his idea of, it's like the end of blank. Like, so every issue is the end of the world, the end of a sentence, the end of this dude's life, the end of a relationship. So it's like, that's kind of like the motif that happens in each issue. And he gets new artists for every single one. So yeah,
cool. That's cool.
It's a cool idea. I think it's really cool, well executed. I think obviously with anthologies, some are better than others, right? Yeah. So it kind of, varied like that. But I agree with you, dude. I think it'd be cool if Deep Cuts gets the nod just for being, jazz and historical and all that stuff. Like well put together, like labor of love type of thing.
But I think the Devil's Cut's gonna win.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that. That's a really good book. Like, if you didn't get a chance to pick up the Devil's Cut, I'm sorry, you cannot pick it up. However, they will be releasing a hardcover of the Devil's Cut. Don't know how it's gonna work, but there will be a hardcover version of it.
Yep.
So buy that one whenever pre-order starts, because the hardcovers are really good for the distillery.
Sign, dude. Devil's Cut sign, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, don't mess around. Come on.
So yeah, I think Devil's Cut's gonna win, and they deserve it.
Yeah, dude,
next
I
one,
agree with
we're
you.
running out of time, and it's a lot of categories.
Let's see. Nah, we're almost done here. We're almost done here. I went through this earlier, so I kind of have an idea of what best writer. Here we go.
Okay, best writer.
So we have Stephen Graham, Mariko Tamaki, Tom Taylor, Kelly Thompson, Mark Waid, and G. Willow Wilson for best writer. What are we thinking, dude?
I'm thinking
this one's tough.
I'm gonna go with like just me being super biased.
Yeah,
I think G. Willow Wilson has been like, there hasn't been a single Poison Ivy issue that has let me down.
Right. Versus honestly, hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take. Nightwing. You guys know I like Nightwing. Yeah. I like it. But that first arc was definitely the peak in my opinion.
I will say I dropped both. I dropped both Titans and Nightwing. And then
people
hate me
I
for
dropped
it.
Titans, so
I can't say anything about the other nominees really, other than Kelly Thompson that I have read a little bit of. But I just think that, I mean, Mark Waid, I dropped Shazam.
Okay. Well, that's the thing too. I mean, he's not even on Shazam at the moment. So
yeah.
So when I see this list, right, the name that jumps out to me, there's the two that you mentioned, G. Willow Wilson. She didn't have the output. Like, I mean, you're looking at Kelly Thompson's list, right? I mean, that's just a killer list. Everything on there is goated.
I think,
but G. Willow Wilson is like writing just 2 books, but they're really great writing.
I think
right? So it's kind of like those are the names that I would, try to pick between Kelly Thompson
I will say like
and G. Willow Wilson.
Best writer is the best writer, not who has the ability to pump something out. Because, like, hey, listen, James Tynion.
That's a good point, dude.
500 books in the market right now.
Yeah, this is an interesting list. This if I was in charge of nominations, I don't know if this is who I would nominate, but no offense, dude. I don't know if the Tom Taylor heads are gonna come for me, but in 2024, bro, we're nominating Tom. Not that he's a bad writer. It's just I don't know if he had like the best year. Like I think, year. Yeah, like the year that he won for his Nightwing, like the first arc and stuff like that. I made a lot of sense. Yeah. But thought it was interesting to see him on this year's list.
Yeah, based on pure like actual like I've read the book and like consistently like there's not a single issue of Poison Ivy that has let me down. It's the most consistent series I've ever read.
Right on the flip side, dude. Hunger in the Dusk. This is G. Willow Wilson's. It's a heavy fantasy series over IDW. Might be the best like fantasy series out right now. I think it's they're in their second arc. I'm glad she was able to continue it. There's a lot of worry of was it just going to end at issue 6? And obviously a lot of work went into this world that she's kind of built. Yeah. So you got your orcs, you got your elves. I'm pretty sure elves are in it. But yeah, it's a really cool fantasy world, and I think that G. Willow Wilson definitely deserves a shout there.
Good writer, just good writer, and also produced. She helped produce Ms. Marvel, the show.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah, that was cool.
Maybe that's why she doesn't have the output. She's busy doing other stuff. So next one we have best writer / artist, recognizing those who are just way more talented than the rest of us, writing and drawing. So we have Tilly Walden for Clementine Book 2, Zoe Thorogood for Hack Slash Back to School. We have Moku Ren. I apologize, I'm not familiar with your work. Danny Warren Johnson for Transformers, Bill Griffith, Emily Carroll. So some names I'm not familiar with, but the names I am. Yeah. Danny Warren Johnson, Zoe Thorogood, and Tilly Walden.
I will say I'm gonna give it to Danny Warren Johnson because Transformers was phenomenal. If we were talking Zoe Thorogood, it's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, 100% Zoe Thorogood. Give it 100%. Immediately.
And she did Rain that year, I believe, too, which was really cool.
Now, I haven't read Clementine Book 2 because I never finished the game. I think Daniel Warren Johnson just had a solid first arc for Transformers, and this is what we're basing it off. Just first arc, since that's when he did writer and artist. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Dan Warren Johnson. I don't think we need to explain anymore.
No,
unless you have your thoughts.
No, I'm with you. I think that he's probably going to win, and I kind of want him to win just because, first arc was so good. I'm not Tilly Walden. I'm a huge fan of her work as I'm going through it. Clementine book 1 was great. I haven't read Clementine book 2, so that's kind of where I haven't read it, but I from book 1 I assume it's good. Her art's great, but definitely pulling for Daniel on that one. And like you said, Hack to Slash Back to School. It was fun. It was a fun series, but it wasn't fun series. Blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Best penciler, inker, or penciler inker team. So we have Jason Sean Alexander, who I thought was so interesting to see here because I'm pretty sure he did that the multiversal arc for Batman, like the arc that we weren't familiar with, or like weren't super down with necessarily. Yeah. We have Tula Late. That's a cool shout. From Somna and everything. They didn't even mention it. Oh, it's for their work, not just all their work in the year.
Yeah,
I guess. No, I don't know. It's really confusing. I don't know why they wouldn't give her this.
It's specifically for Barnstormers.
Okay, because in this one down here, it's Dan Mora, but he's got Shazam.
I think it's because for Somna, you got to take into account that 2 people are doing art. And true. Inking and penciling, it's 2.
Right, but that's where I thought maybe give it Becky Cloonan.
I think it's because like they're doing individual person. Yep. And since like you cannot, I would say you cannot count
with a penciler.
You cannot count Becky and Tula as one team because they both do their sides,
their own inking and own pen. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think for this one, dude, it's cool to see. It's cool to see Tula Late. A nice nod there. Dan Mora on there is crazy, and then Chris Samnee. I'm a huge fan of Chris Samnee's style. I haven't read too much of his work, but he just blows me away with like everything he's done. Right.
I'm gonna say right now, I don't think I can really say an answer for this category. I'm gonna give it to Tula just based on the fact that I have talked to her and she's nice.
Okay, word up, dude. I think this one
super biased.
This one seems like it's to give Dan Mora the award.
Yeah, and Dan Mora, we'll get into phenomenal.
It when if we get a chance to talk about San Diego Comic-Con news, Dan Mora is on. He's doing like 3 books a year. This dude's a machine. No one else is doing interiors like him. He's just
phenomenal.
Like he's literally, it's crazy. Like when we talk to Joshua Hickson, and he's like, "Oh, I do like an issue a day, bro." Dan Mora is literally, or like a page a day. Dan Mora is doing like 3 or 4 pages a day, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I think, dude. There's this one. This might be the last. We're getting to the end here, guys. Best printer, or painter. Sorry. And I noticed something. The only name that I was familiar with.
Martin Simmons. Nice.
Martin Simmons for painter, dude. For Universal Monsters Dracula. That's who I kind of want to win. Yeah.
I don't know the other names, so I'm not going to present.
Yeah. I think, dude, that's...
Best cover artist.
Best coloring. I mean, you got a great list here. But it's got to be Jordi Belair, bro.
Yeah.
Every book you're like, whoa, this book kicks ass. Who's the color? It's Jordi Belair. Like literally.
Should we go into lettering too?
Yeah, let's go. Just because we see Hassan Otsman Alehu. Obviously Russ Wooten is he's on a lot of stuff too. Like he's doing lettering for Transformers.
Yeah. And I love that style. Like I literally have. I think I have like a font on my phone that's like supposed to be The Walking Dead.
No, yeah, dude. This category is honestly tough as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not familiar with Richard Starkings, but he's one of those names. He's like one of the classic letterers. Yeah. So to see these 3 names, it's like, whoa, I don't know who.
I honestly will give it to Hassan just because every book that I honestly read probably has Hassan's writing. Like Beneath the Trees, Poison Ivy. I don't know. What's the furthest from here? Like, it's a good book. The Flash.
Look, City of Madness, dude. I didn't even know he lettered City of Madness, man.
I think we can. All of Distillery.
So yeah, dude. I think that's a tough one. That might be it, guys. That might be it for the Eisners here.
There's no best publisher. This is like
no.
My honest question.
What's up?
No, if there was like a best publisher.
No, I guess not. Yeah, this is the end here.
I didn't know how they worked.
So, yeah. No. Yeah.
And then I think we're at the I think we should just do Deadpool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could do like, if anything, like a little TikTok onto this color break page to talk about the San Diego Comic-Con news.
No. You know why? Because I might talk about it in the Kody show that I'm filming this weekend.
Oh, there we go. Kody show. Little hint.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Dude. So that's the Eisners, dude. I think that we're gonna close out the episode with our Deadpool spoiler discussion. There's spoilers, guys.
Can I say something real quick? What's up, before we get into the spoilers, I did film a video at a convention, SuperCon in South Florida. I'm excited to put it out. I'm just filming one last thing for it.
It's good.
I filmed it with a VHS camera, so the editing is a little bit harder.
Naturally.
I had like a breakdown almost, like where I showed it to someone and they said like, "Oh, I love the filters," and I went to my car and I think I screamed like, "No,
they're not filters!" It's like you ever see that Peaky Blinders meme where he's holding the guy's like screaming?
Yeah, it was like that,
dude. Yeah.
I went to my car and I just like disappointed, but I get it. I don't know. I just in my head, I didn't have 3 days of convention. I only had 1 day, and I couldn't film a really interesting vlog in 1 day. Met some really cool people, some really great artists. Dante Bosco from, Zuko from Avatar, Rufio, Jake Long, just cool overall. Some really good artists that I'm gonna be putting everyone's information in the bio for that video because I really met some cool artists that I really love.
He showed me the video, guys. It's really sick. You're gonna like it a lot. Yeah. So.
And and I ate the hottest hot sauce at that convention for you guys. So you
funny,
better
dude.
tune in.
It was so funny, guys. It was wicked funny.
Because I will say I don't mention this in the video. I ate it at the floor closed at 5. I ate the hot sauce at 4:55. So every stand where they sold water was closed. So yeah. Let's move on to Deadpool spoilers. If you don't want to know any spoilers for Deadpool, tune out now. I will not say it again. Do not blame us. We are not your parents. We are, this is your own choice. If you get spoiled, it's on you.
It's on you, dude, for sure. Yeah, dude. So Deadpool, this is 3, right? Deadpool 3, Deadpool versus Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know what the title of the movie is. I saw it last night.
I saw it last night as well.
Like Christian said, we have pretty, we had pretty good things to say about it coming out of it. I don't know where do we even begin, dude. I think
we can just say random comments. I mean, like, listen.
Yeah, so I guess what do you think about the other Deadpool movies? Like, how do you feel like it compares?
I like them. I think I was really scared as to what Disney was gonna do with this Deadpool movie because I didn't want it to be like tuned down or like toned down from like the raunchiness of the other 2, but I think this was the raunchiest one. Which I like.
I think I agree. Yeah, they definitely turned it up to 11. I mean, dude, even just from the intro, the credit intro it kind of showed me, this no worries here in terms of violence and nude.
People are gonna be singing "Bye Bye Bye" by NSYNC for a while. Even though I believe that it's going to be Me, It's a Better Song.
So I think that intro, it really just said to me, no worries here. This is going to be a Deadpool movie for sure.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, dude. I asked you earlier if you think Marvel's back. That was almost like a tongue-in-cheek thing. I don't know if they've ever...
I don't think they left. I just think people have a slump,
right. It's just like the classic thing that everybody says online. Marvel's dead, Marvel's back.
Listen, it's a slump. Go flip floppy. You go through like your little slump every now and then.
Right. I'm trying to think even what was like the project before this, or like the last Marvel thing.
Jeez, Guardians. I don't know.
The last like show, I'm pretty sure I saw all the way through. I guess when was the Miss Marvel movie? The Marvels.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. And then there was Loki. Loki was pretty sick.
That's what I'm saying. So in the last couple of years, there's some things that I like. I just haven't kept up with all. Like I haven't seen Secret Wars.
Let's be honest, guys. You just gotta say it. You didn't like Miss Marvels because it was about women.
Let's just put it out there, guys. Listen,
because most people hated it because it was not only 3 women, but 2 of them were minorities. And I think if that's your big problem with this, you can go fuck off. And I'm not gonna censor that one.
Yeah, don't censor that shit, dude. That was a real one from the chest. So I guess like the point I was getting to is there's definitely, I haven't been in tune with the MCU as I 5 years ago. I definitely was more in tune.
Yeah, I think. Go for it.
No, I the only thing I was gonna say is I think that this one served as like a nice kind of ending, nice little swan song for like that Fox universe kind of, right?
Like
that's kind of what it read to me.
This was like the coffee beans at a Bath and Body Works. You got to smell them. It's a palate cleanser. We just went from some projects that were a little bit, disappointing to some people, and this is a little palate cleanser. I'd say it's really somewhat inconsequential to the future of the MCU.
Yeah, maybe we can get into that now. Maybe that's a good point because
I want to go through like
confused.
I want to say like Easter eggs first, and then we'll talk about like conclusion.
For sure.
Easter eggs. I mean, you want to say a big one? I'll let you say a big one. Come on, Kody, it's yours.
So I mean, the craziest one to me was the Channing Tatum one.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. I do want to say because like the thing is that his movie was canceled.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny that they gave him the most horrible accent, sometimes even dipping into like Creole. And it's mentioned who was your dialect coach? And I think it's like a little joke. It's like, oh, that's why the movie never get made.
Right. Like, it's hey, this is so goofy. It like wouldn't work almost.
Yeah, it's like the joke is Channing Tatum is so bad at playing this character, and that's why the movie's never made. And he sort of mentions a couple times, like they'll be like, these are heroes who people love, and he's like, or heroes that people never got to love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think it's pretty silly. I loved it, dude. I think Channing Tatum really kicked ass. And honestly, out of all the cameos, not my favorite. Not my least favorite. Just not my favorite. I have a favorite, and we'll get Daphne Keane as X-23.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, I always felt like Daphne Keane didn't get.
That was a great pull. That one was like a true actual deserved cameo.
Yeah, Daphne Keane never got her chance to really play X-23
and pop off and just go
destroy. I had always plus Latino character played by someone from Spain. People have a problem with this, dude. I mean, Doctor Strange is playing an American. I understand the colonizer context of it all, but listen, she's a little girl. You're not gonna blame her for that. Well, she's 18 now. She was a little girl. She just such heart that it brings to the story, because it is the turning point really to the story. Daphne Keane being there, like X-23.
Right. She kind of because without that kind of push, that emotional push that she gives Wolverine.
Kick-ass fighting scenes. I mean, and you can see her doing them. Like you can see it's her face. This is not and I respect that. And I will say as her cameo goes, as far as her cameo goes, the ending of the movie ends with her sitting at the table with them.
Right.
In Wade's
a little bit confused
house.
About the implications of that.
And one of the things is that it kind of makes me wonder because it cannot be this, because okay, they mentioned that Logan takes place in Deadpool's universe and canon.
Yeah.
But it cannot, it has to be an X-23 they saved from the void, because Logan takes place in 2029, so the X-23 in Deadpool's universe would be too young to be that version of X-23 sitting at the table.
Okay.
That's what I think.
This is the part I was getting to. I was confused. I didn't know the logistics of it. I didn't know if that was the one from the void. That's why I was
it has to be, because age-wise,
right?
I think we're in 2025, and honestly, from 15 to 20 or from 15 to 18, you grow a bunch, dude.
So, this is actually, it brings up a really good point, because this is something I wanted to get into. I think that I was a little bit confused, bro. I got to be honest with you. I was like, so I guess I was confused of why everybody was in the void, or why did the TVA feel the need? Why did the TVA send X-23 into the void?
Yeah, I think
I was confused about that.
I mean, this was another universe X-23.
Okay, that's what I was confused about.
This is another universe X-23. The X-23 in Deadpool's universe made it to canon and everything. The reason why they sent that X-23 into the void is because when an anchor being dies and the universe is dying with it, there's some beings like like Gambit, like X-23, who will not let it die. Like they're
Okay,
gonna try
so
to
the
save
TVA
it. So
is
the
like,
TVA sends them there to avoid, to prevent, like, to make it easier on them. It's just like we're not.
I got you. That makes a lot of sense. I must have just missed it because that's
No.
a great explanation that doesn't add any more confusion. That answers it for
the
me.
person who says
it doesn't matter ultimately,
no,
right?
the
Like
person
they're in
who
the wood, it's whatever. But
the person who explains it, segue, Elektra. That was just cool. I'm not gonna like say much because I wasn't really attached to Jennifer Gardner as Elektra.
yeah, that was like the most interesting
Lovely.
part is like all the cameos besides the X-23 one were kind of like the most surprising things,
Yeah.
right? Which I guess is maybe what people are looking for in these kind
Elektra,
of cameos and stuff like that.
Blade, they were cool things. I think definitely Channing Tatum being there was the best. Chris Evans showing up and being the Human Torch didn't surprise me. As soon as I saw him there, I was like, this is not Captain America.
Right.
It wasn't surprising. Like, people around me were like, ooh. And I get it. Like, I'm not making fun of anyone who felt that way, by the way. It's just for me, like, storytelling wise, I was like, they wouldn't just put Captain America there because it'd be too simple for a Deadpool movie.
When I saw that happen, that was kind of the moment where I'm like, okay, any other cameo that happens is possible. You know what I mean? It's all because that was like the craziest pull is the the weird accent Chris Evans who bursts into flames or got his skin pulled off.
I liked I mean, most of the villains were already spoiled. All of them, actually.
Yeah. They definitely, just in terms of the main villain. I forgot her name. Xavier's twin, right?
Yeah.
Which we're familiar with her a little bit.
Cassandra
just from
Nova,
the Grant Morrison.
Yeah,
right.
I'm reading that one right now, so it was perfect.
Yeah, so she's the villain in that, right?
Yeah. I will say,
or I guess
really disappointing. Really disappointing with Cassandra Nova. You know why? Emma Corrin is a great actress, and she killed that role, but like really didn't like. They made the character really do nothing.
That's one of those menacing villains you kind of wish they would save for something else.
Yeah, and I hope they bring her back because Cassandra Nova as a character was so interesting.
Right.
It sort of felt like that Thanos level of like no one can beat this person.
Right, unless she has like a metal pot in her head, bro. You can't beat this girl. She's I think that the whole thing with like the death device or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. I think the story was very whatever. Like it's kind of
you're going in.
You know what I mean?
You're going in expecting a Deadpool movie is just gonna be funny, silly, haha. You know.
Exactly, and for what for what it did, I think it succeeded. I think a lot of people, all the Deadpool heads are pumped up about it. I think MCU fans will be happy.
Like I said,
with
this is a palate cleanser. Marvel said, let's take a little break,
right,
and let's come back with a good movie. It's gonna kind of reignite the fandom, and then come back with something else. And I think that's what it was. I think it was really good. And let me see.
Nice send off for the Fox universe, like we said.
We got a bunch of Deadpools. Did not care for that. Really, just whatever.
To me, the whole Deadpool thing. I mean, that was like across the spider. You know what I mean? They just did that, but
it was fun.
I'm
cool. Best fighting scene in the movie. No, actually,
it was
the Honda
shot
the Honda
on
Odyssey. The Honda Odyssey might have been a better fight.
That was fun too.
I will say a bunch of Wolverines. Comic accurate Wolverine being my favorite one, even though Henry Cavill showing up was really cool. But we got a really short.
Oh yeah, I forgot that even happened. That was crazy too.
Yeah, we got a really short Wolverine, and I really like that.
That was funny. Yep, that whole sequence was funny there, looking for the right one.
And we get to my last node, and here I gotta show this, my little notepad, my handy dandy notepad. Where are we? That's the
just
note.
In general.
Yeah, like where's Olivas? Yeah, he goes to 616 at some point, and it's cool.
Yeah, we know that Thor is gonna hold him while he cries or whatever.
They sort of tell you like this is gonna happen like in the future because the sacred timeline is you cannot change it. Deadpool is gonna be a part of 616. We see that Thor's gonna be there with him.
Yeah. So because this movie takes place after Loki, so is that the whole thing though, where Loki is saying, "Hey, all these different universes can work," or whatever? Like they're not
Yeah.
all gonna like. There's not just the one anymore. It's
Yeah.
it's Loki's
The ones
got
that
everything control.
it's
He's
like
gonna
the
hold
ones
the
that die are meant to die,
right.
and like there's no saving them. But like the ones that we can save, yeah, let's just let them live. You know.
Yeah.
And
So Deadpool. It seems like that universe is gonna continue. Maybe that's what I was confused
I
about.
will say, the biggest things I see from this is we might get X-23 as Young Avengers, which is cool because I really love Daphne Keane once again.
Yep.
Hugh Jackman's not coming back. This was a nice send off.
I hope, dude. I hope.
I hope they don't bring him back. I love him.
No, I hope they don't either. This was
just let him retire.
That was the other thing, dude. Is he was saying for the longest time, I'm only going to come back if like the story demands it, and if it's like a really good story and all that stuff. That's the only reason why I come back, because he felt he left Logan at a really good spot.
Yeah.
So do you feel like this was a good enough reason to bring Wolverine back? Because we haven't even really talked about Wolverine just in general.
I'll say this.
Like, did this deserve the comeback of Hugh Jackman?
I think it is because, not because of the story itself, but because hearing him say why he came back.
Okay.
He watched Deadpool 2 and Deadpool 1, and he was like, I made a mistake. And he was driving one day, random day, and he was like, I need to be in the next movie. And he called Ryan Reynolds and said, like, if you wrote the movie, please put me in it. Like, I don't know if you're already filming, but please, I want to be in it. And that's why. So, was it worth it? Yes, because Hugh Jackman got to do it, and he's clearly really happy. And in the end, doesn't he deserve it? Fucking like 10 movies in? Yeah, let him do what he wants.
Making 10 movies and only like, 2 of them are good. Yeah. Like 2 of them are, up there.
Listen, I think he deserves it. I mean, he wanted it, and that's it. He's not coming back unless we get a Secret Wars, which is like he might make a little cameo. Deadpool being in the MCU, I feel like it's gonna be once again just little cameos here and there. He's not gonna be a main player in the MCU as far as like 616 goes. It's just gonna be really dumb cameos. He might come in to annoy Spider-Man. That's it.
To your point though, I hope X-23 does end up like if you take anything from the Fox universe, almost right. Like she's probably the part that I'd be most interested to see.
Honestly, because X-23 is that character. And we're definitely moving on with Young Avengers, and I feel like you cannot have Young Avengers without having X-23. I just read issue number 1 of NYX, which is just like the X-Men in New York. X-23 is there, and I was really excited to see her. And I read this before watching the movie.
Let me run this by you, dude. I heard someone talking about this theory that they think might come true. So I guess just so everybody knows, at the time we're recording, I think the MCU panel is going to be tomorrow, so maybe we'll have some more insight. But in terms of guessing, for what's next, a lot of people are thinking that this might kind of be the way they kind of tied up all of. It seems like all the Fox universe is in one now. It's in Deadpool's like current timeline.
Well,
so it really seems like they're kind of setting up an X-Men versus Avengers type of thing. Like an incursion, only one universe can live.
Well, I think that's going to be the Secret Wars. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think they're kind of building.
I don't know, and I say I don't know for one specific reason.
That was a theory I heard. I don't know if I subscribe.
I try to deny the theory, but also like expand on it. It completely Marvel's immediately destroys that theory, because Marvel's has what's his name, Beast is played by Fraser. I forget his name right now. Don't get it.
Grammer, Kelsey Grammer.
So that immediately is not from Deadpool's universe, because Deadpool universe's Beast is Dead Bodies guy. What's his name? Yeah. So
that's why I'm confused, bro.
So it's immediately like we already have different universes. Here's the thing. Kevin Feige said that whatever it used to be like the age of the Infinity Gauntlet, this is the age of the mutants. He said that like now restructuring everything, the newer phases are like the age of mutants, which means that they cannot have the age of mutants if they're not going to focus on the main Earth. So I think they're going to start it. Plus, we already got Kamala Khan being a mutant in 616, which means there'll be more mutants. They've already sort of mentioned Wolverine being in there with like a little Easter egg in She-Hulk of a guy with claws in a bar. I think this is just the age of mutants. We have seen other mutants that we've seen. We saw Mr. Immortal. We saw Kamala Khan, and I think we're just gonna get X-Men in the MCU, but it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be Charles' school. It's gonna be a different somewhere. I think Deadpool was a really good palate cleanser that really led us nowhere except for maybe getting Daphne Keane in the 616 universe. Because now we have 2 Daphne Keens in one universe, and that cannot be.
Why see what you're saying? So maybe she. Okay, so I see.
Her universe doesn't exist. Her universe doesn't exist.
So now she has a spot over in 616 or whatever. I like that. I like that theory. What just happened? You still see me, dude?
Yeah, I see you. No, not anymore. Well, Kody's camera just died, which means...
Yes, I forgot to plug it in. Classic.
Which means I'm going to sort of give like a little wrap up. I don't know if Kody, you go with anything like very soon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Deadpool, please go watch it. I mean, if you're watching this part and you haven't watched the Deadpool, you're kind of not the brightest. I'm kidding. You are bright if you chose to watch spoilers. That's cool, man. Woman, they, them. I don't know. I think it was to prove that Disney could do more. It's like, hey, we're not done.
Right, Disney.
And they killed it. And I definitely see Ryan Reynolds coming back for this character. He loves it so much. He's not going to let it die at number 3.
Well said, dude. No, I think those are all great points. Marvel, they still got the juice. They sometimes can have the juice. They proved that. And like you're saying, they're starting to flex their muscles a little bit. They got the horror a little bit with the Werewolf by Night type of stuff. They got the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness type of. Yeah, they're more multifaceted. They can do the
they can do a lot of things.
Adult humor.
I honestly believe that they should stay away from multiverse a little bit.
I know. That's what I was gonna say earlier. I'm kind of a little bit tired of multiverse
but
stuff in general.
I think Deadpool handled it well.
They did by kind of poking fun of it. They understand that. Yeah, they
understand it. I like the TVA being in it. I think Mr. Darcy, what was his name? Paradox. Really cool, man. I just
not bad.
Matthew McFadden. I think he was great. I just think we should kind of lay off the multiverse. It's getting really tiring, and I think they know it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
I think they know it. If you really think of the projects right now, I mean, him even mentioning that this phase right now is mutants, that means they're completely forgetting the multiverse saga. Because
they're a pivot is coming for sure.
So I say, keep your eyes closed. Don't give up on Marvel. I mean, everything has bad moments, you know. I mean, this podcast had. If you stuck to episode 43, you've put up with some bad episodes.
That's probably the third favorite.
That's why we're the third favorite. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It's an 8 out of 10. I think Ryan Reynolds. I respect him a lot because he's doing it out of love, and he's doing it out of saving a character he really loves.
No, true. Definitely, well said there. I think that I can't imagine anyone else playing Deadpool. That's for damn
no one
sure,
else will do it. I mean, technically, some people did it, but that
Blake Lively was Lady Deadpool, I think.
Yeah.
Which when I heard that, I thought it sounded like Taylor, but maybe that was just my mind.
No, it was Blake for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I'll say, dude. Thank you for
one thing I want to mention. The face CG when she was in their head with the fingers coming out, that shit was sick. Everybody's saying that the CG in this movie is bad. On Nice Deadpool, it was a little bad. I don't know what was going on there. It looked a little funky, but that finger stuff was awesome. So also my camera's gonna die again.
Yeah, goodbye. I don't know. No, I will say this. Thank you for joining us. Kody disappeared. I'm going to put the ugliest picture of him when his camera comes up, so I hope he knows that, and he cannot say anything. I can hear you. No, you'll have a really ugly picture there. Thank you guys for joining us in episode 43 of the podcast. It's been amazing, and we're excited. We're nearing 50, you know? Yeah, solo guest, and we're trying to be more. Kody's filming the Kody show this weekend. Kody show is really exciting. It's basically things Kody wants to talk about that are not good enough for the podcast or not interesting enough to do a full hour about. Yeah. And then I'm going to be putting out my SuperCon vlog very soon. Give it some love, and check out the Crossover Comics podcast, and recommend some books. Stay great. Just know that we love all of you guys that are really good people. If you're a bad person, we do not love you. And that's it. Goodbye.